All right. It's that time. It's time for Beyond Sight and Sound. Let's do this.
Are you looking for a high-quality beach and sand scoop? Are you trying to take your hunting to the extreme? How about an American-based company that stands behind their product and everything they sell? Then check out our friends over at XTREME Scoops. John has been making scoops for some time now and makes a quality beach and sand scoop to take your hunting to the next level. XTREME Scoops recently released their new sand shredder that works great in the water and on the beach. And if you're a new Equinox user, you may want to check out his Surfmaster X3 that can trap those small targets you new Equinox users are finding out there. XTREME Scoops' company approach is let's do it right. So do it right, buy it once, and go to the extreme. XTREMEScoops.com. That's XTREME scoops.com.
Caution. Please do not operate motor vehicles or power equipment while under the influence of this show. Listening to this show could cause side effects such as bouts of laughter, violent binges of cabin fever, and even dreams of silver and gold. Please be advised. Now that the fine print is out of the way, on with the show.
All right, the fine print's out of the way, and it's time to roll with the show. We're back, and we're live once again. You are listening to Beyond Sight and Sound, metal detecting and treasure hunting radio for all the really cool digging people out there. And I see Ohio Relic Hunter says he hasn't been out lately. That's not a good thing, Bill. Hopefully you get out again soon. I was out yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I was out yesterday. Man, I did a lot of digging. Dug a lot of coins, lots of clad, but it was out from under the blanket of pull tabs. So it's always a good day when you can walk out with $4 worth of clad and like 2-3 pull tabs. Couldn't complain. Anyway, we see that the Bills are in, Chuck's in, Paul, I think there were a few others there that I missed. But welcome aboard to everyone. Obviously, moving on, links in the description. First and foremost, our friends over at Shooters and Prospectors. Chuck Smalley, the man with the plan, the dealer of choice. Actually, everyone is very excited about the Nocta Macro Simplex. And Chuck does carry Nocta Macro, along with MineLab XP, Garrett, Detector Pro, DetectEd, and many, many other lines. So give him a call. Actually, don't quote me, but I think he's even putting together a small pre-order list for the Simplex. Not real sure. Then we've got our friends over at DETECTEES.com, Ken, Mark, Darth, Buddy, and the gang, doing a great job with the Beyond Sight and Sound apparel. Our friends at XTREME Scoops, Brute Magnetics, XP Team USA Facebook group, website, podcast every other Friday, and their YouTube channel, XP Team USA. You can find them real easy. Google can be your friend. Our friends over at Metal Detecting NYC on YouTube, Merrill, great guy. Friends at River Styx Outdoors, and our friends over at All Metal Militia YouTube and Facebook group. And then obviously the last link's in the description. Once again, we're on our YouTube kick. The link for Aqualand Relics on YouTube and their Facebook group. Yes, they do have a Facebook group as well, and they would definitely... Interesting. I see the name Hunter in the chat. Welcome aboard. They would definitely welcome anybody to go over and check out their YouTube channel and their Facebook group as well, if you would like to check out such things. So, moving on, because we've got a lot of ground to cover, you could say. Obviously, Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, we're still on our YouTube kick. We will have the Hunter GT, which if you caught the last video he uploaded, or the video that I shared, he did upload a video today. Congratulations to him. He's finally found his first Indian head penny, which, for some people that doesn't sound like all that big of a deal. But he was certainly excited, and in his area, I'm sure you've got to work hard to find those. I mean, it looked like he was hunting a park out in California. So I see people saying in the chat they're sorry to hear that, Paul. So hopefully all is well. I'm not sure what I just missed there. I don't know. Also, more to come on... Also, more to come on the new Minelab Vanquish soon. Keep a lookout for it. Obviously, we're very interested in seeing what the Vanquish can do, as well as the Simplex. The Vanquish will have multi-frequency. And the Simplex, I do believe, is going to be a very, very good machine coming from Nook to Macro. You can't beat that price point. What is it? I believe... I want to say it's $299 for just the machine, or you can get it bundled with the headphones for just over $300, $330, $340, something like that. Don't quote me on that. Like I've said before, I don't talk prices, I talk gear. It's Chuck's job to talk prices. So if you're looking for a Simplex, you're looking for a Vanquish, when it becomes available, obviously give Chuck a call over at Shooters and Prospectors. He can get the packages to you, no problem, shipped well, and great customer service. So, moving on, obviously tonight our guests are this is a little different. This is a father-son hunting team out of Maryland that operate the YouTube channel known as Aqualand Relics. So let's get them in here tonight. How is it going, Mike and Jordan?
Oh, not bad. Not bad at all.
Nice. Well, I guess first off, thanks for taking the time to sit down with us tonight. Hopefully nobody's a little nervous or anything like that, because this is kind of your first live show.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I ain't gonna lie. Of course, Jordan ain't nervous about anything. He's too young to be nervous.
Right? Yeah, there you go. He'll just dive right in, headstrong.
Exactly.
Nice. So I guess starting out, you two are in what part of Maryland?
We're in Hancock, Maryland.
Okay.
Western. That'd be the western part of Maryland, really.
Okay. And obviously, you got into the hobby first, correct, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what inspired you to get into the hobby? And then we'll come back and see where Jordan fit into all this. How long have you been doing it?
I've been doing it for about 6 years, roundabout. My brother had got a detector for Christmas one time, and he needed somebody to go out with him. So I had a friend down at work. I said, man, I got a brand new detector here. He said, never used it. He said, you want to try it out? It was a Bounty Hunter Tracker 4. I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. Well, I started finding some Civil War bullets and stuff like that, and I was hooked.
Nice. Well, you can't beat that. So you started out on the dirt then?
Yes.
Okay. And you had the Tracker 4, but I know in your videos that's not what you're running now. So apparently there was an upgrade very shortly after.
Yeah, it wasn't even probably a year after. I was like, there's got to be something better out there. And I did a lot of research. And, 6 years ago, it was right when the Garrett AT Pro pretty much come out, like maybe a year or something. And I was like, man, I got to have that detector. And so I purchased it. Wasn't much longer after that. My brother purchased it too because he's like, man, I'm liking what this machine's doing. So I still love my Garrett.
Right. And that's, you still run the AT Pro, don't you?
Yes, sir. Same machine, and, it's still going strong.
Nice. Well, it seems like it's been doing quite well for you, and I'm sure the fact that it is waterproof was a nice added plus because you guys started getting into the water as well.
Yes, yep. Just really about the last 2 years is when we really started getting into the water.
Okay. Now, how long had you been into this before Jordan got into it?
I was probably in it for about 4.5 years or so, because he's only really been in the hobby for maybe a year and a half now. But I was in for a good 4 years.
Okay.
There's a story behind it. He'll probably be able to tell you the story behind why he got into the hobby, but it was pretty cool, pretty interesting ordeal.
Okay, well then let's hear from Jordan how he got into the hobby. Then maybe something inspired him to get into it.
Well, started off, me and my buddy, we was going on a fishing trip, and probably wasn't the smartest time because there was flooded waters, and we just got done getting 3 inches of rain, so all the streams was flooded and nasty, and we went floating down, and I decided, I'm going to get out my phone and take a picture. I lose my phone in the water. And now this water is up to about my chest. All right. I'm a pretty tall guy. And I knew it was going. I mean, the water was muddy. I knew I couldn't find it. So, just some instinct told me, hey, call my dad. He's got a metal detector. He finds cool Civil War stuff. Let's see if he can find this phone down here in this flooded water and try not to drown. Well, sure enough, about 15 minutes come by, and he rolls up with the Garrett AT Pro, and give him about 5 minutes to do his thing. I told him where I'm pretty sure it was, and he got a pretty solid signal on it, and I swim down holding on to his foot, and lo and behold, here it was, my iPhone. So I was definitely hooked after that. I said, I don't know what these things are, but I need to get myself one of them.
Well, that's one way to get into the hobby. I mean, we see many times where people do a ring return or something, and next thing you know, that person that receives that lost item back, they show interest in the hobby, and now they get into it.
Exactly.
So what machine did you start with then?
My first machine was the Mind Lab 600.
Oh, okay, the Equinox.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He plunged in deep right off the bat.
Nice. Well, nothing wrong with that. The Equinox is a very capable machine, whether it's the 6 or the 8. Both of them are very, very good machines, and really not a whole lot of a learning curve to them.
That's exactly right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nice.
I pretty much got it right out of the box, and it took me a little while, just because I've never metal detected before. But man, once I got the hang of pinpointing on it and everything, and how to identify my targets, it made life so much more easier, and I wouldn't trade it for the world now.
So you found that you're hooked.
Oh man, I'm hook, line, and sinker all the way. Mine Lab, Equinox 600.
Nice, nice. So, do the two of you prefer beach and water hunting over the land, or you kind of do a little bit of all of it?
I enjoy the land myself. That's where the Aqualand comes in the deal. He's the aqua, I'm the land. Give me the land any day.
Oh, okay.
As for myself, though, I kind of like the beach and getting out in the water and everything. I don't know. I just think life under water is something we don't see too often. I just find it very fascinating and everything. It just definitely hooks me even more. So I'm definitely a beach type of person.
Right. Well, and especially when you're talking about the water, I mean, it is kind of an untapped frontier, so to speak. There's a lot of good stuff to be found under the water.
Yes, sir.
And you guys even do a little bit of magnet fishing too, apparently.
Yeah, I just recently started. I haven't got any videos out yet because I really ain't found anything cool. I found a few fishing hooks and stuff like that, but it's tough. I didn't realize how tough magnet fishing is. But you're going to get wet and you're going to get dirty when you magnet fish. I can tell you that right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Don't expect to stay clean and dry with it. You're going to get muddy.
No.
You're going to get dirty. You're going to get wet. You're going to find all sorts of ferrous metal.
Right? But all it takes is that one thing, like, find a gun or anything, I'd be hooked.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it's much like the metal detecting. You make that one nice find and then it's like,
yeah.
Hey, wow, I'm actually out here having a great time with it.
Yeah, I started out with a 350-pound magnet because I didn't know if I was really going to, really get into it or anything like that. And then I figured, with the 350-pound magnet, if I really enjoy it, I'll just bump up, maybe up to a 1,200-pound one. We'll see.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that at all. Definitely will work. The 350-pound magnets are quite good. The 1,200, I'm sure, are even much better too. But you got to watch and make sure that you've got enough ability to drag in whatever that magnet attaches itself to.
Exactly. I got it stuck the other night there. I had called Jordan since he likes to swim and everything. Of course, he wasn't home. Well, fortunately, I got it stuck maybe 8 foot out, so I'm looking around. I find like a 10-foot tree that's a sapling. I made a little hook for it, and I'm fishing out there, and, people probably looking at me saying, what is this guy doing? I got my magnet back, so I was happy.
Yeah, you gotta watch sometimes the underwater obstacles you can't see. Sometimes you can wind up getting snagged on them, and then it can be a real effort trying to get it back, because it's a bad day if you lose a magnet. Them things ain't cheap.
Yeah, I say if you're going to be a magnet fisher, you better be prepared to swim.
Right, or get a very good feel for what the surroundings are like under the water before you start throwing it out there carelessly.
Yep.
Definitely. So, you've been into it for 6 years. Jordan's been in about 1.5 years. When did the YouTube channel come along, and what prompted all of that?
We were just riding in the car one day, and I just said, Dad, I'm going to get this detector, and once I get fairly decent at it, we're going to get a YouTube channel started. And he kind of just looked at me like, what in the heck, YouTube? And I told him it's a thing where you can pretty much reach out to the whole world and, show your passion and everything and be an entertainer. And I mean, I don't think he was on board with it for the first part, but once we got the first, second, and even the third video out, I mean, I think he started to understand kind of how things are going to go. And I think he's into it now. I mean, he kind of drives me nuts about this whole YouTube thing now, so.
Right, yeah, he's got you, uploading a video once a week?
Yes, sir, trying to, yes, sir.
Well, we've did it since we've started. We started April 20th was our very first video. And every Sunday since April the 20th, we put out a video. Sometimes it ain't easy. I mean, everyone thinks metal detecting is so easy that you just go out there and you pull all these great finds out, but it ain't like that. You know, and to make it YouTube worthy, there's a lot of pressure on you, I feel, when I'm out there detecting. We gotta find this. We gotta find this. We gotta find this good find. We gotta find it. You know, so it really stresses you out a lot.
It can, yeah. Definitely, as a YouTube creator myself, I know there's a lot of you put up a video and people click on it and they may watch that 5-minute video or however long it is, and then they're gone. And a lot of people don't realize how much time and effort went into just that 5-minute video clip. You may have been taking clips all day long, and a lot of those clips may have hit the cutting room floor, so to speak, to where people don't even get to see those. You've got hours in recording, editing, uploading, just so people get to see that 5-minute clip.
Oh, yes. The one video Jordan did, I think it was like 12 minutes long. He said he had almost 8 hours just in editing and uploading and everything.
I can believe it. And
then we try.
Go ahead.
And then Jordan also tries once in a while to throw in a few of the bloopers that happen along the way just to make it a little bit more interesting.
I have noticed that. That is comical to see a lot of times, too. And let's see, I guess it's Jordan that has the drone?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay, so what cameras and drone do you use for the YouTube videos, and what editing software?
Well, the camera that we use is going to be the GoPro Hero 7, which a lot of people say it's not a good vlogging camera, but I personally don't see any problems with it. It's got a good hyper smooth stability. I love that feature. And then the editing software I use is, I mean, it's kind of outdated, but hey, it's grown on me. I like it. And you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So I'm going to go ahead and say it's the Adobe Premiere 15. So that's the editing software. And then as far as the drone, my drone's my baby. I love that thing. It's going to be the DJI Spark. Such a little tiny drone, but man, does it ever take really good video.
Right? Yeah, they definitely do very, very well with the video.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nice. And what I've seen in recent videos, you like to change the angle up, you like to throw some drone footage in there, and you see an evolution kind of in the editing and the way the videos are being put together. Do you have like a particular concept or scheme that you're striving for, that you're still trying to get there, or do you think you're pretty well set into place?
Honestly, every time I go out, I'm just thinking of ways how I can be more creative and change the views of the intros and everything. I mean, a lot of times Dad's out swinging the coil, and I'm out just trying to think, man, how can I get a good shot of this? How can I get a good shot of that? You know, I'm more paying attention to the surrounding. He's just trying to find out what's underneath the ground. But
if you catch the one video, this one here sticks out in my mind, and I just loved that video because I just thought it was so cool. At the time when he was saying about it, I'm like, are you nuts? But he's walking towards me, and he says, put your hand up towards the camera when I get close to you. So I do. And then he's like, all right, now I'm going to hold my hand up here, and you start the camera up. I'm going to hold my hand up. Well, when he puts it all together, you see me and it blacks out, and then boom, you see him walking in. It just really, really blended well, and that's probably one of my favorite parts of all the videos we've done so far. I just liked how he did that.
Nice. So do you find yourself going back and watching, well, actually, either of you, I guess, going back and watching the videos and seeing kind of the evolution in the editing, or even just reminiscing?
I won't even tell you how many times I've watched their videos.
Me, on the other hand, I'm kind of the opposite. I don't think I went back and watched too many of our videos. It's just, as a content creator, I just find it awkward, and I don't want to find any of my mistakes, because I'm sure I make them, but I don't know. I don't want to see them.
Well, and that's understandable too. I mean, like when I'm actually, it's been a while since I've put together a hunt video, but when I'm actually putting together the video, by the time I've got it uploaded, I've already been trying to get these clips together and everything else and watch it one more time real quick to make sure I got everything in place and then upload it. And after that, I don't go back to it because I'm going, oh man, I don't even really want to upload this. I've already seen it so much, I'm bored with it.
Right, exactly.
I don't watch that video till it comes out the day it comes out. I watch it with everybody else for the very first time. I don't see it while he's doing any editing or anything like that.
Wow.
It's all new to me when it comes out.
Oh, so you see him out in the field with the camera and everything and going, yeah, maybe he'll surprise me. I'll catch it when he's done with it.
Exactly. Exactly how it goes.
Nice. Now, for people that have been following the videos for a while, I guess maybe with Jordan running around trying to find out, hey, maybe this is a good angle for this video, or man, I could do something with this shot. Do you ever kind of start to sweat it, thinking, man, Dad's already out there hunting. He's going to find so much more than me. I'm missing out.
Oh my gosh, that's one of my biggest things. Like, I forget what video it was, but we had just got there and we was doing a challenge, and it was like the oldest coin challenge. And I had just got my drone unpacked and started flying it up in the air. And Dad's like, bring the camera over here. I got an old coin. And I mean, it was crazy what he found. And I'm like, I'm over here trying to get cool scenic shots, and you're already finding Liberty coins and all that stuff. I was like, I'm already behind the gun.
Right. I'm going to lose for sure at this rate.
Yeah, it kind of makes me not even want to hunt.
Right. Well, and that brings up the good question of, for those that have been watching your videos for any amount of time, we've started to see that there's been some competition, some challenges in there. What inspired these challenges that we're seeing? Because some of them are just hilarious.
That's me. Dad don't know what it's like to do a challenge. I don't know why I even brought it up, but I just like I love making people laugh. I love making, bringing smiles to people's faces. So I was like, you know what? I'm a pretty daggone funny guy, so I'm going to go out here. If I have to do a challenge, I'm going to do it. Well, about 5 videos into it and 5 challenges later, I regret saying that. So, but Dad's going to have to do a challenge here soon.
Right. I mean,
the last video we did the coin challenge, and I was way behind in that coin challenge. In my mind, I'm thinking, should I just back off and let him win? But I don't like to lose either. So, one side of me is like, just slow down and go ahead and lose the challenge so you can do a challenge. But the other side's like, no, get him. So I caught up with him and passed him. So I even surprised myself in that video.
Right. Yeah, that was a new one. I had not seen or heard about the cinnamon challenge prior to that. Yeah, I mean, from what I'm seeing there in your video, I certainly can't recommend anybody to try it.
Well, I love the plume of cinnamon coming out of his mouth there when he first does it.
That was something else. I mean, I know when I was watching the video, I'm thinking, well, it's just cinnamon, you know, like Jordan was saying in the video. Myself, I love cinnamon, so it's like, oh yeah, this is going to be nothing for him. And yeah, we find out things aren't always the way you think they're going to be.
Yeah, I don't like cinnamon no more. So.
Right. Well, and
I remember when we was leaving, I said, so was it as bad as you made it look? What you think? He said, it was bad. He said, I wasn't never expecting. He said, when that stuff like hits your back of your throat, it just clings there. And he said, there for a while, he said, I couldn't even really hardly breathe.
Wow. I know, it was a few videos back. You guys had done the hot chip challenge.
Don't remind me.
I loved it. And that was not staged. I mean, he chose each one of them that was chosen, and he just kept picking the hot sauce drink.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
I know. I'm watching that video and I'm about in tears. I'm laughing so hard. And I'm like, man, you know, you gotta feel for the guy. But then again, this is hilarious. I had to mention it on the show, that night as well.
Well, you didn't even catch the one part where, you know, he pulls the hot pepper up again. And he's like, just give me the whole thing. He said, I'm just eating it just to get rid of it so I get a better chance of getting my drink. That was edited out.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like it didn't matter what you did. You couldn't catch a break.
Yeah, I don't even know why the water was sitting there. I mean, it was pretty much just a teaser.
Right? Yeah, I had even mentioned to my wife, I'm like, you know, all the guy wants is that water, and he can't get it.
Oh man, no sorry. Well, it was fun. That was definitely one of the funnest challenges, that I've had to do. It was definitely the most painful, but man, after seeing Dad laugh so hard, I was like, it's kind of worth it, I guess.
Right. I'm sure that video probably got a number of comments.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was. I think it's like one of our highest commented videos, so that's pretty awesome.
And I know that in the past you guys have even mentioned, you know, if there's a challenge you want us to try, throw out the suggestion and we'll see about doing it. Do you guys get a whole lot of interaction on your channel that way? Do you have many people submitting challenge ideas?
We know a lot of people in person, and I always have people, like, it seems like every Monday whenever I see people, they're just like, hey, well, here's a challenge. I've probably got a list of 30 different challenges that people's brought up to me. And, I'm down for anything. So, I'm not going to shy away from a challenge. So I got them all jotted down on a piece of paper. And, I'm just waiting for the proper time to do each one of them.
Well, to tell you how bad it was, he wanted to do what they call a redneck hair removal. But, after I talked to him, I was like, no, I don't like that idea, and I explained to him why I didn't like it, and he kind of like, yeah, I guess you're right. So then we went with the cinnamon challenge, So I'm not going to let him do anything that's going to, cause him any kind of harm or anything like that.
Right. So it's all within reason.
Exactly. When you're young, you don't think about the possibilities of maybe an injury or different other things, but, a little bit more seasoned, so I'm kind of looking on that other side of it. Just
right, like you got to look before you leap.
His back flipped in the last video. I'm like, really? He knocks his breath out of himself at one time when he does the one backflip.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good thing he's young and limber.
Right. What a lot of people don't realize, me and him both work full-time jobs. So, we don't do YouTube for a living. So we got to go out 40, 50 hours a week to make a living. Plus, then on the side, do some videos.
Right. And make sure that you're still well and able enough after the video to go back to work.
Exactly.
Because
I know that's what I did on a Thursday.
There you go.
Weekend off.
Right. Yeah, because I know that last video where you knocked the wind out of yourself, not for me. I couldn't have done it.
Then he tells me, he says, just do one front flip, guys. No. Getting too old for front flips.
Right, exactly. You got to look before you leap, and you're going,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, nothing good is going to come of this. I can already see it now.
No.
Something's getting hurt.
No. Exactly. That'll be in the hospital. Then I ain't going to be able to detect.
Right, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh my. And I see they're even starting to put things in the chat like duct tape hair removal.
That's what it was.
That's what it was. But with Gorilla Glue involved in this ordeal.
Yes, sir. I was all for it, but then Dad kind of talked me out of it. That Gorilla Glue, apparently, it's pretty strong stuff, but I wasn't scared.
I said it might take skin and everything with it.
Wow. Yeah. What's the oddest challenge that you've jotted down on your paper so far?
One guy said eating a rotten egg, and I was like, I don't know if I can do that. I mean, that's just the smell of a rotten egg. I was like, I ain't about that life. So that's way down on the bucket list. That's like, man, if we're really desperate for a challenge.
I got a suggestion from a guy from a foreign country, and he said some kind of fruit, and I forget the name of it right now, but he said in some countries this fruit's actually banned because it smells so bad. And, they're not allowed to have it on public transportation and stuff like that. And I actually looked up Amazon, and they sell it on Amazon, but I don't know if I really want to go that route. 'Cause my luck, that would be the week I lost.
Well, at first when you said somebody from another country, I thought, somebody's recommended the surströmming challenge.
No one's recommended that yet.
From everything I've seen of that, if you guys have not seen that before, you can find plenty of videos on YouTube about it. Yeah, probably not one to attempt.
Well, that last video, we was going to do a collaboration of mixtures of different things, but he got scared after I started naming some of the stuff I wanted to mix in with it. He's like, no, let's just do cinnamon challenge.
Right, let's just keep it simple, or so you thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Thought, yeah, this will be easy, and not quite the case. Not quite the case at all. So,
yeah.
What has been some of your most memorable finds?
Oh, I probably got a great big list of that. I mean, maybe he might not have the list like I do because he's still a rookie. We'll put it mildly. But the one video we did with Class Ring, that was from day one. I had my metal detector. That's been my number one bucket list. I always wanted to find a class ring and be able to return it to the person who lost it. This guy had lost that class ring for 15 years, and to see his expressions when we returned it to him, that made the whole hobby worth it. I mean, you could just tell he was pretty ecstatic. I mean, he was almost in tears at one point in time. So that was pretty sweet right there.
That is a memorable one for sure. I know there's myself included, as well as some of the others in the chat, have had the opportunity to return class rings. Very cool experience.
And then I had another one. It pretty much goes along with the story that Jordan talked about. We was in the creek. We was hunting in a creek, and we was looking for fishing poles. This older couple had dropped fishing poles. Their kayak had upset. And, we went cruising by them and, asked them if they needed any help. They were like, nah, we're fine. Our dog moved in the kayak and flipped us, and we're just fishing for fishing poles. We got everything else but our fishing poles. So, like a week later, Jordan's like, hey, he said, won't you take your metal detector down there, and I'll go down and see if we can find these fishing poles. I was like, all right, sounds pretty cool. So we got our kayaks. We went back down to where they had fallen in. And one thing he found the fishing pole, but he found it the hard way. He found it with the hook in the leg. But he did find the fishing pole, the one fishing pole that the guy dropped. But, I was still searching. I thought I found the reel. The water was really swift here. And I'm probably, up to about a little over my waist. And I'm like, Jordan, I said, I got an awesome signal here. I said, I don't know if this is a fishing reel or not. Jordan's like, well, you put your coil down on it, and I'll grab your leg, and I'll follow you down. And he gets down there, and he's only down there for a couple of seconds. He pops up, and, his hands are still in the water. He said, Dad, you are freaking awesome. I was like, why? What's up? Well, there was a person's iPhone in a plastic bag, and it had $40 in cash in it. I was like, oh, sweet. So we took it home and plugged it in, and it fired right up. So we made a phone call. We got the phone call somewhere here on one of our cell phones, but we called up, and some guy answers and said, hey, did you lose a cell phone? He's like, no, I think you might have the wrong number. I said, well, your name is the most used on this cell phone. We thought maybe you had lost this cell phone. He's like, well, my girlfriend had lost her cell phone, but she lost it in water. I really don't think you got her cell phone. I said, well, I can tell you right now, we got her cell phone. And she was pretty ecstatic about it. She had just gotten the cell phone. She had a bunch of pictures on it, and she was very happy, and she called us up. And, we got a place to meet, and we returned it, and she said, well, you keep the $40. That's just the least I can do for you returning this cell phone. She said, I just can't believe you found it. And she said it was in the water for about 3 days. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And, let's face it, them iPhones ain't cheap.
No. And then me and my dad was at the ocean, and we found a cell phone buried in the sand. And my dad actually found it with he was just using a little Garrett 150. And he found it, and we ended up calling the guy back, and he's like, oh, man, he said, my wife lost it. She's been crying all day because she lost his cell phone. She's sleeping right now. So we met him at like 11 o'clock at night down on the one street down there and gave his cell phone back to him. So, we've had quite a few run-ins with cell phones.
Nice. Well, and they do. When you get your coil over a cell phone, they ring up just crazy good.
Oh, I know in the AT Pro, it's like an 86, 87, something like that. Now, nice. I don't know what Jordan has a couple good finds, I would imagine.
Yeah, my favorite find, like I said, I haven't been out too much doing it, but whenever I found my first large scent, sadly we couldn't get a date on it, but whenever Dad told me that it's potentially back in like 1832, oh man, my heart stopped beating there for a little bit. I was like, man, that is so awesome. So that's definitely my favorite find so far.
Nice. Have you? Definitely large scents are awesome to find. Have you found any coins older? Is that your oldest coin?
Yeah, that's actually my oldest coin as of right now. We looked at some of the ways that the I guess the face of it is, and it kind of tells us that it's definitely in the 1830s, 1840s era. So I think she had like a ponytail up, and I think that means like it's in the 1850s, 1840s era. So just something that old being 10 inches in the ground. I just never would have thought that I would find it with the Mine Lab.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You'll find them with the Mine Lab, but probably probably rang up kind of like a quarter for you. It gave you maybe a 28, 29 or so.
Yes, sir. 28, 29. I think there was even a 30 in there. So, and the thing that it was just, like I said, 10 inches down, and I was like, man, this good of a signal at this deep, it's either something really good or something really big. So I went ahead and dug it, and that's what it was.
Nice. And I'm assuming this was on dirt then?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nice. Not bad. Not bad at all. Definitely a surprise for you.
Oh, man. Like I said, I brought it up out of the ground. I was like, what in the heck is this? All I know is it was old.
Nice.
In the middle of the woods. We was in the middle of the woods with that find. We was up in an area that was known for an encampment. So we're thinking it was probably Civil War, and somebody in the Civil War probably dropped it. But I was probably 100 yards away from it, and I hear him, Dad, come here. I just found an old coin. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
I got something cool. What is it?
Yeah. He's videoing me. He's like, look at it. Here he comes running through the woods, and I'm just walking through the woods. And I'm like, really? I ain't running through the woods. But I was kind of excited to get there because I knew it had to be something good.
Right. Now, and I guess that brings up another good point, too. You guys like to do your fair share of the beach hunting and stuff like that. But you had mentioned this was an encampment, so apparently you guys are doing your fair share of research, too.
Yeah. I'm usually the one that does the research and finding some spots and getting permissions. And I've found probably, I don't know, roughly over 200 and some bullets alone. A few buttons. You know, I haven't found my bucket list yet. Matter of fact, we're going back to a place here this fall that have maybe a possibility of some cannonballs. And that's definitely a big bucket lister of mine. So I'm looking forward to that.
There you go. Yeah.
There was a gentleman. Right. We was there detecting it. One of our videos back behind, it was detected in our old home site. And the home site that dates back to before 1830. But a gentleman was renting off with a woman that gave us the permission, and he had found the cannonball laying on top of the ground. He said he wasn't even looking for cannonballs. He was just up looking in an area, and she found it on top of the ground. So we're pretty excited about going back to this place.
Yeah, if you're hearing stories like that, there's definitely some potential there.
Yeah, he showed us the cannonball, so we know he found it. I mean, it's a pretty sweet-looking cannonball. It's like an 8-pound cannonball.
And for those two that want to know what it reads on the Mind Lab Equinox 600, it's actually a -2. It reads a solid -2. So that surprised me.
Oh, on the cannonball?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wait, the gentleman that found it was even nice enough to bring it out and let you swing a coil over it, huh?
Yeah, that's what we asked him.
Well, what did it ring up on the AT Pro then?
38.
Not bad. Not bad. Now, what do you guys do then? Because with hunting the dirt as opposed to hunting the beach or the water, especially if you're around any salt water, different processes there for preserving what you're finding. What do you guys do with the items that you do find? Do you try to preserve them? Do you display them? You just throw them in a jar or what?
Right now, I have an ammunition box, a wooden ammunition box. You know, it's got a deer on it or whatever. But I keep everything in baggies. Like I have all my jewelry together, and I've gotten so many spoons. I love digging spoons. Jordan laughed at me when I dig spoons because I think it's so cool to have something that personal, you know, from somebody that, you know, had that spoon using it. But I got a huge bag of spoons, you know, so I keep everything bagged up and I try to keep it categorized like that. And I've gotten myself a couple of shadow boxes that eventually I'd like to put a few shadow boxes together so I can display.
Nice. Nice. What about you, Jordan?
I pretty much just got some containers and everything. My collection isn't as wide as Dad's, but I pretty much got some boxes for my coins. I try to keep all my large cents separated from the other, and then my quarters, and then just my dimes and all that stuff separated too. And then I got a couple boxes for my Civil War bullets that I found. But then I just store everything in a crate.
What's your count on quarters? I know you keep your quarters in a big stash. What's your count on quarters already this year?
Oh, I think so far this year I've probably found over I'd say 100 and some quarters. So that's definitely, I love finding quarters. I can find quarters all day, and I wouldn't have to find another thing in the world. I mean, that's my favorite thing to find.
What were you using your quarters for?
Oh, I just like saving them right now. But I mean, I was using my quarters to pretty much clean my blankets and all that stuff.
Your Skittles?
Yeah, my Skittles. I love buying Skittles. I mean, doing laundry. Quarters are just, they're a handy coin to have.
Well, there you go. You get enough of them quarters found, you may even be able to get yourself an extra coil or pinpointer or something like that.
That don't take much.
Right now I got about $100 saved up, so I mean it's getting up there here soon. Maybe I can buy that what is it, the 15-inch coil, I think, for the Mind Lab Equinox. So I'm getting there slowly, but I'm getting there.
Hey, it works though. It all adds up. A lot of people, we all like to find the old stuff and everything, but that clad will add up too. I certainly won't walk over a quarter signal.
Yes, sir.
I think my first year, when I first started out, I would save all my coins, and I would put them in a rock tumbler to clean them up. And then I would jot down, like, how many nickels I got, how many dimes I got. I think the first year alone, I had over $150-some in change. That's not counting pennies. And that was using the Bounty Hunter Tracker 4. And that one day, me and my wife went up to a swimming pool. It was a swimming pool. It's still a swimming pool, but they had closed it down. And our town manager gave us permission to go in and detect it. And just one day, I found $50-some worth of quarters.
Wow.
That was with the AT Pro. And as a matter of fact, that was that video where we had our coin challenge. And if you watch that video, you would see me say, well, that's all right, because I'm going back to the place where I found over $50-some worth of quarters.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, well, Jordan gave that funky look like, what are you talking about? Well, anyways, that was the area I was in. But with that said, we have hammered that spot. You know, I was honestly surprised that I pulled that many quarters still out of the ground.
Well,
that just goes to show you that no spot's ever hunted out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. We can cover it as methodically as we'd like, but you never find it all.
Exactly.
That's yesterday when I was out, that was kind of case in point right there too, because, we've been over that, multiple people have been over that, and yesterday I was just going through trying to pick the clad out so I can go back through to hunt for some more pieces of jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You just never do find it all. There's more out there anyway. With as many people as we have in the hobby, we're never gonna find everything that's lost.
True. Very true. Well, that spot I found, like I said, I've found over 200 bullets, Civil War bullets. And every time I go back to this spot, I'm like, why am I going to, I've been to this spot 50, 60 times, and I've found probably 18 to 20 coins that date back to the mid-1800s to early 1900s. But, every time I go back to this spot, I'm like, why am I here? And then every time almost it seems like I come out with something like, wow, I can't believe I missed that the last time. So,
right.
It never, you just never know.
Yeah, absolutely. You still, you can go back to a place that's been absolutely pounded. And sure, you may have to work a little bit for the keepers, but you can still manage to kind of chisel something out where it's like, man, how did I miss this before?
Well, I think a lot of it is the way the ground is. It's a little bit more moist today than it was the last time he was here. Or you hit it at a different angle. It just takes a different angle maybe to dig that deep coin out of there because, it might be setting on edge.
Yeah,
A
absolutely.
certain way to hit it. So, yeah, you just never know.
Yeah, moisture conditions, freeze, thaw, the angle
Yeah.
you come over it, maybe you're using a different machine or a different coil.
And I go to this park that we go to a lot. You know, it's our standby place. You know, if we ain't got a permission or something like that, you know, I'll go down to the park just to have a chill light day. No cameras or nothing. Just me to go down there just to have fun. No pressure. You know, and I still occasionally pull out a mercury dime or something that's 8 or 9 inches that, you know, somehow many detectors have missed.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. And do you find that normally you're, because it seems like here in these challenge videos, you always seem to come out on top over Jordan. Do you think that's going to continue to be a coming trend, or you think he's finally going to topple you one of these times?
No, I've told many of my friends at work because they get a kick out of me always beating me. And I said, no, it ain't going to happen much longer because that mine lab, they ain't no joke, and he's figuring it out. You know, I told him when he bought that mine lab, I was like, you know, that's a pretty big jump into the detecting world, into a mine lab that with all the buttons and gizmos. I said, my AT Pro, you start it up, you ground balance, you go. But, you know, he's the kind of person, when he goes for something, he likes to have some of the better stuff. And, you know, I picked that detector up. The first day I picked it up, I found a ring and a mercury dime with it. And he's not finding anything. He's like, how are you finding, you know, but, you know, I've already had 6 years experience, you know, I listen for the tone. You'll catch the one video where he's hunting and, I hear his detector hit a high beat and he keeps going. And I'm right behind him. And I come over and I said, you're not going to dig this. He's like, why? I said, well, good, I am. Well, it ended up being a mercury dime. He's like, oh, you're digging my grave. I said, well, you passed it up. But, you know, he's getting better now, and he's learning the detectors, so it's only a matter of time. I'm going to bite the bullet, and I'm going to lose.
Right. The more time he has with it, the more he picks up on it.
Yes, exactly.
Well, and that's what it's all about. You know, the more time you spend with that machine in the field, the better you're going to know it, and that translates into the better finds or a larger quantity of.
Oh yeah, well, he's got that thing set up now where, you know, when we're coin shooting, he can fly with it because it's got such a speedy recovery on it, and then he's got everything marked out, but he's coin. You know, so he's like, this. You see him start out in that coin shoot, he's running. I'm like, yeah, let's see how long that lasts. But, you know, I just can't believe how the recovery speed is on that. That's how I found that class ring. I was actually using his detector when I found it. And it was in a lot of trash. You know, it was beside of a place where they had picnic tables and everything. That's very, very trash. Pull tabs like crazy. But I just kept getting this one high squeak. And then I started cutting down on my strips on the coil until I got it down, and I was like, man, that's got to be something decent. And there was only like 2.5 inches underground. So that's the recovery speed on them mine lands are just unbelievable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would have to agree. And you've seen it yourself. I mean, using an AT Pro and then using his Equinox, I'm sure you see the difference too.
Oh yes, very much so. Yes, I'm very impressed. You know, when he first got that mine lab, I was always kidding around. You ain't ever gonna, you know, you can't keep up with a Garrett. Ain't no way you're keeping up with a Garrett. Well, you know, I'm starting to see here soon he's going to overtake my Garrett, maybe possibly. But I'm still a Garrett. I'm still true blue Garrett.
Right. Well, nothing wrong with that at all. But it sounds like, though, you're starting to kind of move over to the Mine Lab side.
Well, I'll tell you what really impressed me with Mine Lab was he got water in his control box there. I guess it was about 4 weeks ago. And I asked him, I said, did you fill out your warranty? No. I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. So he gave me the serial number, And I called him. I said, I don't think my son filled out the warranty. She said, well, what's the serial number? So I gave it to her. She said, oh, you're in good shape. She said, he still has 2 years left on the warranty, and that warranty carries over to whoever buys that. If he would sell that mine lab to somebody, the warranty carries over to that. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I think it had a 3-year warranty on it. We sent it in to him, and he called me like 2 days later from the place where they work on him. He's like, yeah, you got water in the control box. He's like, we're just going to go ahead and send you a brand new control box. I'm like, no questions asked, nothing. I'm like, wow, that is awesome. So,
yeah, Mine Lab has definitely been polishing up on their warranty and customer service. Yeah. That's for sure.
Yes, and very quick turnover. I mean, like I said, I shipped it out 2 days later. He's calling me on the phone saying, we got your detector already figured it out. We're sending it back to you.
Nice.
I think it took about a week before, they had shipped it out, but you know how snail mail is. It went clean down to Baltimore, then it went over to California, I believe, and then finally made it back to here. But it was still pretty quick.
Nice. That's the important part. Not a lot of downtime then.
Exactly. And that's what we stressed to him. We said, hey, we got a YouTube channel here. We need content.
Nice. So, the way it sounds, maybe you're seeing a Mine Lab in your future.
We'll see. I don't know. I won't make no commitments to that. Right now, I'm still Garrett True Blue.
Ah, okay. So we'll have to keep an eye on the YouTube channel, and when Jordan wins his first challenge, maybe we'll have to watch and see if there's a Mine Lab unboxing.
Yeah, he'll be swinging a Mine Lab about a week later.
Well, I've been wanting to do a challenge where we trade detectors, but he's like, no. So you might see one where I run the 600 and he runs the AT Pro down the road.
That would be interesting. That would be a little different. You never know. It's always something to try.
Yeah, well, then you said about us having a Facebook group. We're always throwing out stuff on Facebook groups saying, hey, what do you want to see? What do you want us to do? Where do you want us to go? Whatever. So it's nice that you can have another forum to interact with your subscribers and stuff like that. We had a gentleman, he was one of our subscribers. He ended up being a guy that lived here at one point in time, and then he moved about 2.5 hours away, and he got a hold of me through YouTube, and then he got a hold of me through Facebook, and we ended up meeting up. He has a MX Sport, a white MX Sport.
Okay.
And he had 2 of them in his truck, and he was talking to me. He's like, you want to give her a run? So I got it out of his truck, I turned to him. He's like, no, I don't mean like that. I mean, for a couple of weeks, do you want to just run this thing for a little bit? I'm like, are you serious? Because I'm still, don't really know him. I know of him, but I don't know him. I said, are you sure? He said, yeah. He said, you're going to the ocean here in a couple of weeks. He said, take her to the ocean. He's got like the big 15-inch coil on it. I'm like, are you sure? And so, here I got an MX Sport that I'm going to mess around with at the ocean too, along with the AT Pro. So I'm looking forward to that. So it's pretty cool that you can interact with your subscribers through other forums besides YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see what you think about that MX Sport.
I've used it once. I found a buckle, it's just a crappy buckle, but, there's a lot of programs there. I got to really do some studying here in the next couple of days because we go to the ocean here coming this weekend. So.
Oh, yeah. Gonna have to hit the books hard. Watch the videos. Yep. Check out the manual. Yep. Want to make sure you're on your game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I imagine there could be possibly a challenge come out of this ordeal, too, while we're down at the ocean.
Right. And that's, this coming week, you said?
Yeah, this coming weekend, yes. Well, the last video we did at the beach, we were there. We only actually detected 6 hours. That was about our actual detect time, and I ended up finding 3 rings. So this time we're going to be there for like 4 days. So I'm really excited about maybe the possibility of finding some really cool stuff.
Right. And how do you guys normally do your videos then? Like if you're recording this week, is that what we see this coming Sunday, or does that come the Sunday after?
It all depends. That's mainly up to Jordan.
It depends on how much back footage I have. Like if I have a river treasure hunt that I want to do, I mean, I pretty much pick out which one comes first. I mean, the ones I want to spend more time on, the ones I think is going to be the longer process editing. So it's just user preference.
Right, nothing wrong with that at all, and that's what your video today consisted of, was river treasure. I don't know how many of the listeners may have seen that. I know I shared it, and anyone that's subscribed to you guys that have their notifications turned on have seen it, but would you guys like to talk about that any?
I mean, pretty much, I was sick, so I really didn't have the urge to go out too much, but, I mean, it hasn't been raining. The water was crystal clear. I went down to the river. I seen that, and I was like, man, I got to be out in this water. This is going to make some good footage. And I remember a good buddy of mine, first name was David, said that he lost a trolling motor and battery, iPhone, wallet, keys, pretty much everything. You know, all the essentials.
What, did his boat overturn or something?
Well, him and his girlfriend was on his boat. His girlfriend seen a bug. And apparently shifted her weight on the boat. It was a canoe. So those things are pretty unsturdy as it is. And once she shifted her weight on that canoe, man, he said he overturned. So that's whenever he lost everything. He got in touch with me, told me, you know, where he lost it, gave me an aerial picture of kind of where it might be at. I went like a week, maybe 2 weeks later, and I was able to return the trolling motor, the battery, and the dog leash. So I thought that was pretty cool. The phone's still out there, but man, I'm going to go out to hopefully tomorrow and try to find the phone and maybe the wallet keys.
Nice. So the dog leash was his then?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it was.
But still, that had to have been a chore in a real piece of work in its own, just trying to lug that trolling motor battery out of there.
I mean, I'm not one to brag. I'd like to think I'm a pretty medium strong guy, but man, 100 pounds and you're about 4 feet, 6 feet underwater, yeah, it gets kind of heavy.
Right. Well, still a good day for your friend, at least. He got the news that you'd found the trolling motor. Did it still work? Have you heard?
I haven't heard. He said he's going to let it air out for a couple weeks and hopefully give it a try. So, you know, best of luck to him. I hope it works for him. Right.
Yeah, definitely. Now, in terms of like the river treasure video that you've done or that you published today, have you found yourself doing more and more of that, or do you plan to do more and more of it?
Oh, yeah, we like to keep it kind of like an equal 50-50, you know, between water and land. But, man, whenever that water is nice and you can go down and just be under the water and see crystal clear and it looks like you're at the Bahamas, oh, man, I don't think I ever want to come out of the water. So days like that, I could stay in the water for a long time and just kind of let Dad do the land part of it.
Nice. So we may see some videos coming up where you two kind of split up and he's on the land while you're out in the water having fun.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, nothing wrong with that at all.
It was so clear in that last video. You can see him chasing fish around and everything. You can see the fish in there pretty good as he's trying. Then he has a lure at one point in time. It looks like he's trying to fish with his hand with the lure, and the fish are looking at the lure and stuff like that.
I had a couple fish wanting to take it. They was thinking about it. They just didn't know what that big person was holding the lure.
Right. Well, then that would have made for some interesting video, I guess, if he'd have bit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Of course, you're liable to have jumped right out of the water, too.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right.
Well, that's what we see though in your videos is that you guys are out there, you're having a good time with things, and you're just kind of enjoying the outdoor and enjoying yourselves.
Yeah, I mean, we've always been very active, in the outdoors. We've always had a pretty good relationship, even when he was growing up, and when he mentioned this YouTube thing, I was like, nah, that ain't for me. But, after your 16, 17 videos in, you're thinking, this is pretty cool. I got a granddaughter and, hey, what, and she likes watching. She's only 2.5 years old, but she knows it's Pappy, so it's pretty cool that, I have this archive that years down the road that she can still, see this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's got its pluses.
Very good point. Yeah, it does. Cause I mean that once you put it out there, it's out there. I mean,
right.
It's hard to take back. So the grandkids can see it, friends and family later on down the road, or even newcomers to the hobby. Maybe, 2-3 years from now, they're running across some of your older videos and sending you messages going, wow, hey, thanks guys. You guys got me inspired to get in the hobby.
That would be really cool. 10 years ago, you have a bookcase full of VHS tapes or DVDs. Now, you got everything stored just right on YouTube. So that makes it really nice.
Right, yeah. Now you've got a bookcase full of external hard drives and SD cards, and definitely the times have changed, but that's one of the great things about being in the hobby now, because we're seeing this technological race, and there's just so many great machines out there.
For sure.
I
would like to have one of them amphibios that's like $7,900, but I don't know.
The Invenio.
Strangle me. Yeah, that would be so sweet.
Yeah, I've heard some very good things about the Invenio. There's been some people that have been fortunate enough to use them to help identify pit sites.
Wow, that'd be cool.
And I hear that they've been quite impressed and doing quite well with what they're doing. Definitely.
That would be neat.
Yeah, I can definitely see where it would be a very good machine to use in the field. May not be for everybody with its price point, but those that can afford it will utilize its features quite well, I would think.
Oh, who knows? Maybe we keep going on YouTube. Maybe we'll eventually get one and make some good videos with
it. There you go. Hey, you never know.
Right?
You never know.
Well, when we started this YouTube channel, my goal was 1,000 subscribers. If I hit 1,000 subscribers, I would be happy. But, probably once you hit 1,000 subscribers, then you're going to be like, man, 2,000 would be even nicer, wouldn't it?
Right, but, yeah, there's always room to grow.
Exactly. It's fun, though. I mean, I drive Jordan nuts because I'm a numbers guy, so every Monday I figure out how many subscribers we had for the week and how many comments. I do it all, and then I do a number crunch, and then I put it on our group in Facebook. So I'm the number oriented. Jordan's like, blah, 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 whatever.
Right. Yeah, I'm just glad I got that video done and uploaded so I can get to the next one.
Exactly, yeah.
Nice. Well, and I want to say the last I checked, I think you guys are, you're knocking on 800 subscribers now?
Yep. Yes, sir. It's coming slowly, but I think we gained like 5 subscribers in the last couple days. So.
Well, if we would get 3 more subscribers this evening before I do my number crunch in the morning, that'll give us another 20. And we've been averaging about 20 subscribers a week, and I'm tickled pink with that.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
It makes you feel good that, you're you must be doing something okay that you have people that, you know, are enjoying it and they are subscribing. So it does make you feel really good.
Right. Won't be long at all. Maybe we'll hear about you on Metal Detecting NYC's Top 500 YouTube videos or something, YouTube channels.
Well, we made it. I've seen us on there this last month.
That's right.
We was like in the top 16, you know, for our category. So I was all excited about that. Jordan's like, I never even heard of it.
Well, you'll have to get on YouTube sometime and check out some of his videos. Merrill does a good job with his videos,
yes.
And actually, we had him on the show not too long ago. It's probably been a couple of weeks back now. Great guy to talk to. Very energetic and passionate about the hobby, and man, he makes some nice finds.
Yes, I enjoy watching these videos. I'm a subscriber. I enjoy them.
Oh, there you go. Now we just got to get Jordan out there watching them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It is interesting, though, the way he does the top YouTube channels. I've seen a lot of good people
matter of fact,
there.
I sent him a message and, you know, saying him, asking him, he said, well, something about it was general information that's open to everybody. He said, but he just, you know, he number crunches and pulls it up. And I was like, well, that's really cool. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. And he did go through and explain a lot of that when he was on the show there a few weeks back. Good guy.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Definitely a good guy. Definitely.
Pretty knowledgeable.
Right. I guess we have had you guys on for a while. Any parting words of wisdom, maybe, to newcomers in the hobby that if you had known, it would have sped up your learning curve?
That would be a good one for Jordan.
Learning curve with metal detecting.
Yeah.
Man, just kind of doing a lot of research on your detector, you know, reading the manual, studying the manual and everything. Biggest thing I like to do with mine is I like to number discriminate. I got all my numbers that I like and that I like to dig. And, I mean, once you do that and you're not hearing all that other different numbers, you know, it's kind of sounding like an alien's got your machine. Man, you do that and you're getting one solid signal going around, buddy, that's whenever the fun starts happening, because you can just say, if you want to just find quarters, I got 29, 28, and 30 on my machine. That's the only numbers I'm rocking, and I can fly through a territory. So that's definitely something that helped me out so much. And I mean, that feature alone makes me love the machine that I swing.
Nice. Well, and it is very user-friendly, easy to navigate, and I don't know, for a mid-range machine, there's not a whole lot of learning curve there, I don't believe. So it's a good machine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very fast and responsive at that as well.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
The
sir.
only thing I had trouble with was all the different settings. You know, like I've said before, you know, my Garrett, I turn it on and I ground balance it and I go. So that's what I've always been used to. You know, where his has got like 8 different settings to go through that you can mess around with all the settings. So that was the only thing I didn't care for. I say, Jordan, you set it up. So then Jordan sets it up, and then I go to all metal. I said, well, I want to hear it all. I want to know what's going on in the ground. So I'll put it on all metal, and I got all the aliens going on, as he would say.
Right. Well, you know, there is an advantage to all metal. You can definitely understand what's going on in the area then.
Yep.
It may be a little too much audio for some people, but, you know, to each their own. I mean, usually when I'm running the Equinox, I like to run in 50 tones, so I like hearing everything.
Right. Well, that's why with my Garrett, when I run my Garrett, I run it full bore. I don't discriminate anything out. You know, I run it in the pro mode, and I got it all going. I want to hear it all.
Nice. Well, I guess before we get on out of here, why don't you guys take a moment and let everybody know where to find you, the YouTube channel, the Facebook group, all of that, and anything else you'd like to plug real quick.
Well, you can always find us on Aqualand Relics on YouTube, and then if you search us up on the Facebook browser, it's going to be the same name, Aqualand Relics. We're pretty active with our subscribers and just random people that wants to stop in and say hello. we're pretty approachable people. We like to talk. So, I mean, whether it's about metal detecting, magnet fishing, or anything. But hopefully you guys spark an interest in us. And, you know, hopefully if you guys do want to check us out, hopefully we make you laugh, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about for us. I mean, we like making our users laugh and bringing a little light into their day. So if we can do that, this channel is going to be around for a long time, guys. So we like having you. I mean, thank you guys for having us. And that's pretty much what I got to say. Dad, you want to say anything?
Well, I'm dabbling in Instagram now, too. So I got an Instagram account. It's, of course, Aqualand Relics, all one word, and then _ at the end. So, I mean, I've already gotten quite a few followers. I'm kind of surprised, but that kind of makes me smile. And here in a couple months, we're going to be doing maybe possibly a cooperation with Potter County Diggers, and we're going to be doing maybe an old ghost town. So I am really all fired up about this one. And
nice. So we can see an upcoming video about that then.
Yes, I mean, he said it's got a lot of old cellar holes and stuff like that, so I'm kind of fired up about that ordeal. So, yeah,
right.
Aqualand Relics, pretty much everything. And when you Google Aqualand Relics, there ain't much on there besides us. That was another reason Jordan chose the name, you know, and we're searching for a logo, so we're always looking for people to put in input. You know, if you got a pretty cool input that you think would make a good logo, we're all ears. You know, you send it to us, and, you know, we're, like you said, we're very interactive.
Nice. And very approachable. You guys stay active on the group. You're putting up YouTube videos every week, and now apparently maybe Jordan's rubbing off on you a little bit with you picking up the Instagram account.
Yeah, believe me. If you'd told me 10 years ago I was going to have an Instagram account, I'd be like, yeah, right, whatever. Same way with Twitter. I haven't picked up the Twitter, and I don't plan on picking up Twitter. But, you know, Instagram seemed like it might have been a good promotional way. So I was like, hey, I'll give her a shot.
Yeah, I've had a few people ask me about Instagram, and I'm still hedging against it. But one of these days, I'll probably have to wind up there myself as well.
I've actually had people engaging on different finds, and, you know, they want to see them after I get them cleaned up, and, you know, different things like that. So it's kind of exciting.
Nice. Right. Another way to interact with the followers.
Yep.
Definitely. Well, we would also like to thank you two once again for taking the time to sit down there with us tonight. Hang in there with me for a few minutes, and we'll get the music rolled and get on out of here.
All right. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks, sir.
All right, so there you guys have it. That was Mike and Jordan. Well, you guys and gals. I know we've got some lady diggers in the chat there as well. So that was Mike and Jordan from Aqualand Relics on YouTube. You can check them out. The link is in the description. You've heard it on the show. Somebody may have even dropped it in the chat. I wasn't following the chat real close tonight, so I'm not sure. But they do a very good job with their videos, very energetic about it, very passionate about it, and just all around a good time to speak with, too. A couple of good guys in the hobby, and that's what it's all about. You know, getting out there, having fun with it, and everything else. So we're going to roll on out of here. Wednesday, we're back with the Hunter GT out of California and YouTube. Be sure and check that out. If you all enjoyed the show, make sure and throw us a like. You can follow us here on Spreaker, iTunes, iHeart, the Beyond Sight and Sound page on Facebook, Metal Detecting Beyond Sight and Sound Facebook group, Dirt Pirates, Ohio Relic Hunter, many, many, many Facebook groups out there, All Metal Militia, Aqualand Relics. I'm sure if you all would like to drop by and check out their group, they'd be more than happy to see everyone. And check out the YouTube channel while you're at it, too, and leave them a comment. Let them know you heard about them here on Beyond Sight and Sound. You enjoyed what they had to say, or you enjoyed their videos, or something like that. I'm sure that they would love to hear the feedback. So until the next time, folks, we're out of here. We're back Wednesday, like I said, with the Hunter GT. Gonna be an interesting show. Tune in for that one. Until the next time, we'll see you, folks. Have a wonderful evening.